Alright, welcome back guys. I'm here with the Asus Rog Ally to give my first impressions and unboxing experience. Been super excited trying to get my hands on one. It doesn't seem like they were too super high in demand, or maybe they just had that much available to sell because it's a really good price at $6.99. But let's go ahead and get this unboxed. While I'm setting this up, let's talk a little bit about what's actually inside of the device. It's powered by the Ryzen Z1 Extreme Zen 4 architecture chip. It's an 8-core, 16-thread chip, but to give more context, if you think about the Xbox Series X and S, they're on their Zen 3, as well as the GPU in here is has 12 RDNA 3 compute units or CUs. That for reference, the Series S has 20 compute units, so it's about 60%, but it's also RDNA 2 if I'm not mistaken. So it packs a punch in a small device. So let's see. It looks like we get some sort of stand. Let me go ahead and get this out. Yeah, so you get a little stand for it. I'm guessing it just to hold it in place. Set this to the side. Now, the device. Oh, okay. Oh, do not like this D-pad. The D-pad is, I don't know if you can hear it, but it is very membraney. If you know what a membrane keyboard feels like, for reference, this is what an Xbox controller sounds like, just the default Xbox controller. It's very clicky, feels super nice when you click it. This one, on the other hand, is just mushy, I guess, in other words. But in terms of the actual layout, it feels amazing in your hands. I would say I have a little bit bigger hands than the average person, but I do have a switch here to compare sizes with. So if you can see the reference here, I would say that it's great size. I didn't like the switch because of how mushed or how squished in my thumbs would be whenever I'm like pushing certain buttons. So to actually feel the layout on this, it's actually really good. And before, let's set this. Let's see if this works right. Right? Yeah. So you just set it in like that. I'm guessing it's just some sort of dock. So if you want to hook up an Xbox controller, it'll be fine. And then before anything else, I want to, let's see, where is my iFix? I want to bust this baby open. So the other specs in this are, like I said, 8-core, 16 threads, but it also comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM and a 512 gigabyte SSD. So I want to see if anything can actually be upgraded. And personally, I don't think it's going to be. The price is really cheap on the device for how much you get. So for them to be able to add that kind of customization would be kind of crazy. Oh, there we go. And then one more. All right. Let's leave the screws in because this is probably going to pop open. Let's get one of these bad boys and spudge it. Maybe. There we go. Nothing is connected. Let's lay that here. And okay, so this is the battery. Of course, it is a 40 watt-hour battery, so in comparison to like a Steam Deck, exact same size, so that's something you can probably expect about the same battery I guess reserve. I would have to definitely get my hands more on this and I guess do some more research to see exactly how that fares in terms of competition. Do we have anything under here? Ooh, so we can upgrade the SSD, it looks like. Yeah, so it's a very weird key, I would say, SSD key slot. It's very small, but it looks like that's going to be the only thing we can upgrade. I don't want to take anything apart just in case I break it before I can show you exactly what it's like when you power it on. So let's go ahead and plug this in. All right. And then in terms of the actual screen, it's a 7-inch 1080p 120 hertz display, which is actually kind of crazy to think about because the Switch is 720p. I don't even know if it's 60. I think it's 30 because most games run at 30 FPS on that device. I'm not entirely sure, but to think about 120 hertz in general, 120 FPS, that's crazy smooth. I'm happy with like basic, probably 90 is probably the sweet spot for me personally. Just anything above 60, really. After you've been on a higher display for so long, you can kind of tell. Sometimes you get kind of like, I guess, motion sickness a little until your eyes start adjusting. Definitely takes a little bit of time to adjust to it. But yeah, all right. Let's power this bad boy on. Let's see here. Oh, is it going to power on? All right. Well, I'm going to charge this up a little bit. Probably set it up. If there's some sort of logo, I'll be sure to show it. But before I do that, let's go ahead and go over the I/O. I have a microphone combo jack, a micro SD card. I believe it's called the Rog XG mobile interface. It's basically a proprietary cable that lets you connect other Asus, I guess, proprietary or accessories using their proprietary connector. Comes with a USB-C 3.2 Gen 2. So it's like up to 10 gigabytes a second of bandwidth. So that way it doesn't mess with the graphics whenever you're plugged in to their mobile graphics card. It has a volume rocker and then some icons for battery and if it is powered on, it seems like, or some sort of notification light. And then the power switch that also has a fingerprint sensor. So I'm going to be testing that out as well. But yeah, I'll be right back. All right, so of course, start up. Armory Crate comes up. I installed a couple games. It looks like this game is installed by default. Let's go ahead and delete it. I don't want it. There. All right. So by default, it has Steam, Xbox, and Battle.net. I guess, or Steam and Xbox was on it. I installed Battle.net and Diablo 4 because I'm super excited to play this. Whether it's on the go or, you know, sneaking in some game time before or after waking up or sleeping. Yeah. So I want to go ahead and close this. All right, in terms of feel, it takes a little bit to get used to the thumbsticks as the cursor. It took me a minute to realize that RB, so if you want to open up the settings, you have to hit RB to left click and then LB to right click, but it doesn't look like you can do that like settings maybe. Yeah, so it doesn't look like you can do that, but you do have a start and select like an Xbox controller. So it's literally an Xbox controller just spread out with a screen in the middle. So we have the right button, which opens up Armory Crate. This button right here, hopefully you can see that. I'll throw in a zoom shot of it. As well as this left button over here, which opens up the command center. You can change the operating mode from 25 watt, 10 watt, and 15 watt being turbo, silent, and performance. You can have game profiles. The control mode, you can either set it to auto, which is what I have, or you can set it to just touch or key gamepad. Real-time monitor actually implements like CPU and GPU, what they're currently running at, the wattage in which the APU is running at, and it has FPS right there. Haven't had a chance to test it, but would definitely like to at some point. I'll be sure to throw up a more in-depth review after I've had some time. And then you can have FPS limiter from 0 to 15 off, or off 15, 30, 45, and 60. And then when it's off, I'm guessing it just goes to 120. AMD RSR, I'm guessing that's like resolution, their version of boosting the resolution with like AI of some sort. But yeah, and you can also change your, well, it seems There we go. All right, so it looks like there might be a couple bugs. But yeah, you can up the brightness to whatever you want. It looks pretty simple, but it will take some time to get used to. The speakers on this thing, pretty good for what it has, at least what testing. I haven't done any other testing really. But yeah, I'm super excited to get my hands on this, get some game time under it, maybe some other things like some coding, maybe video editing. Have OBS installed. I don't know exactly or if it'll even work. I wanted to install it to see if I can get some sort of content on it. Maybe so that way you can see the Armor Crate a little bit better and the setting or command center. So we'll see, hopefully I'll see how that goes. And then I'll be sure to label that footage if it is in there. I'm gonna make sure I'll record it at 1080p or whatever the native resolution is on here, and then go from there. But yeah, if you want to see a more in-depth review, throw some ideas up of what you want tested, and I'll be sure to do that. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to, feel like this is something you want to get updates on, and that's it. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.